Most people grow up believing one simple rule: if you work hard, you'll be rewarded. That belief sounds fair. It sounds motivating. And in the United States, it sounds almost sacred. But it's also incomplete, because if hard work alone created wealth, the hardest working people would be the richest. And that's not what we see. So what's really going on? To understand this, we need to separate two ideas that most people mix together: effort and leverage. In the US system, effort is respected, but leverage is rewarded. Hard work keeps the system running. Ownership decides who benefits from it. Let's make this simple. Imagine two people. Both wake up early. Both work long hours. Both are good at what they do. One earns a paycheck. The other owns something that produces paychecks. Over time, their paths don't just separate, they compound. This is the part no one explains clearly. The American system was never designed to reward activity. It was designed to reward control. Control over assets, control over systems, control over outcomes. That's not a conspiracy. It's how incentives work. When you own something, other people's effort can work for you. When you don't, your effort only works for today. This is why the same amount of hard work produces very different results. Now here's where beginners get confused. Ownership doesn't mean starting a huge company. It doesn't mean being rich first. And it doesn't mean taking massive risks. Ownership simply means this: you benefit when value moves, even when you're not present. That's the advantage. In the US, the biggest rewards go to people who sit closest to the flow of value, not the people who push the hardest. This is why some jobs cap out no matter how skilled you are. You can work faster. You can work longer. But you can't multiply yourself. Ownership multiplies. That's why the system treats it differently. Let's look at something familiar. A business owner and an employee can both work 10 hours a day. But only one of them benefits when the business grows. The employee's reward is linear. The owner's reward is exponential. Same effort, different position. This is not about morality. It's about structure. And the US economy is built on structure: corporations, equity, assets, intellectual property. These aren't buzzwords, they're leverage. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most Americans are taught to maximize effort first. Ownership comes later, if ever. School teaches skills. Jobs teach performance, but very few systems teach positioning, so people end up working inside systems they don't control. And when those systems grow, they don't participate in the upside. That's the gap. Now let's address a common misunderstanding. This doesn't mean hard work is useless. Hard work is often the entry ticket, but it's not the multiplier. Hard work gets you into the room. Ownership decides what happens next. This is why you see something strange in the US. People who don't appear to work the hardest often benefit the most, not because they're lazy, but because their effort was applied earlier, or differently. They worked on things that scaled, and scale changes the rules. The system rewards outcomes, not exhaustion. That's why you can't outwork a bad position. You can only reposition. Now here's where this connects to today. Technology, especially AI, is lowering the cost of ownership, not of effort, of leverage. Tools are making it easier to control systems without massive teams, without massive capital, without massive visibility, but only for people who understand what ownership actually means. Most beginners look for tasks. The system rewards claims, claims on output, claims on distribution, claims on value. That's why the US rewards ownership, because ownership aligns incentives. If something grows, the owner benefits. If something fails, the owner absorbs the loss. The system sees that as responsibility, and responsibility is rewarded. Now notice something important. This doesn't happen loudly. There's no announcement that says, ownership matters more than effort. Instead, you see the results years later. Different lifestyles, different options, different pressure levels. And from the outside, it looks unfair. From the inside, it looks obvious. This is why so many people feel stuck. They're doing what they were told. Working hard. Being reliable. Waiting for rewards. But the system doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to positioning. Once you understand this, your thinking starts to change. You stop asking, "How can I work harder?" and you start asking, "What part of this creates value?" That question alone changes outcomes, because it shifts focus from effort to leverage. Now here's the key takeaway. The US doesn't punish hard work. It just doesn't multiply it. It multiplies ownership. Understanding that doesn't make you rich, but it does make the system visible. And once you see the system, you stop fighting it blindly. You start noticing where value flows, who controls it, and why. If this video helped you see the American system more clearly, subscribe to Access to Wealth. This channel exists to explain money, systems, and modern leverage using simple animated stories. No hype, no gurus, no false promises. Subscribe if you want understanding before opportunity, because once you understand how the system works, you stop blaming yourself and start making better decisions. And once you see that, you can't unsee it.